Hi guys, today we're going to give you a bit of a rundown on posture and movement and you sitting at the desk during the day with your job. So the idea of this resource is to give you a bit of a plan on how to reduce your tension and tightness that occurs in your neck and your lower back and your legs that will occur during the day if you are sitting all day. So let's run through a few ideas about how we can move our body in a simple way without actually having to get up necessarily if you're stuck at a desk. Some simple things to start with is naturally we will always tend to be over our computer or over a phone, tending to be leaning forward talking to someone, and that's okay, but we then need to almost do the opposite movement. So one simple thing is to move backwards, leaning back, arms up or arms back, and leaning back over the chair, reaching back, using the actual edge of the chair as a pivot point to lean back for. So actually doing about 5 or 10 movements. If you can't do that in the setting you're in, just reaching up and literally looking up and back like that is a nice stretch to do, to open up your arms. The other things that get tight during the day are your pec muscles. So your pec muscles while sitting at the desk are a little bit harder to stretch because we're here, we want to open up those guys. Because bringing your pecs tight, they drag your shoulders forward. And at times that can create some tension and posture issues. So simply opening up one way, looking over your shoulder, opening up the other way, looking over your shoulder. You'll feel a nice opening, stretching sensation across your pec muscles. So doing that a couple of times, you can lean back and do both together, looking up to the roof. And then it's a nice way to open up in the opposite position you're in. So pretty simple things there. The other things you'll find that you're getting tense with your neck muscles and up into the suboccipit area. So those areas actually are really common sources of headaches. So tension headaches, migraines can be produced from your neck, being cervicogenic migraines. And I guess what we're trying to do there is give you a heads up on how to prevent that. So simple things like neck to the side, ear to your shoulder, a gentle over press for 5 seconds, both ways. You'll feel a nice long stretch through your hair. If you feel like that needs to go a little bit more, then you can actually drop your arm down and take it a little bit further to get a nice pulling stretch. The other nice one to do there is just the nose to armpit stretch. So a bit of a funny one, I call it the sniffing your armpit. So if we're looking at getting a nose to our armpit in that angle, it gives you a slightly more extended stretch into that area. Because there's 2 simple stretches. Moving your head from side to side 5 times. All really super basic ideas, but stuff you can do at the desk every half an hour, every hour in a very quick way to reduce the risk of tension and headaches and muscle sort of fatigue from occurring. So there's a couple of things for your sort of neck and your shoulders. Now if we're looking down at our lower back while we're sitting, okay, very simple one to actually do is lean out of the chair a little bit off to the side and literally bend over. So I'm going to bend over and slump almost between our legs. So even just reaching over 4 or 5 times to actually open up your back. Now if you've got a wheelie chair, which you haven't here, just wheelie chair back and actually stretch like that. So a really nice opening stretch, looking down, feeling your lats, feeling your lower back open up a bit more. So another simple way to keep moving at your desk. A really good one we get people do is then learning how to do your pelvic tilt. So actually sitting in a relaxed position and then rolling from our pelvis. Not from our chest, but rolling gently, learning the art of pelvic tilting, which is actually a nice thing to do because often we're stuck, slumped, sitting, and our spine can get used to that position and it's nice to move it. Okay, so there's a few simple ideas in regards to neck, shoulders, lower back. If you're feeling more tight in your hips and your lower leg, the other couple of things you can look at is your glutes and your piriformis stretch to move those guys. So up and across, cross-legged like that, pulling your knee to your chest, you'll feel a nice stretch through your butt. So you can do it in that way. If you're super flexible and you don't feel a stretch, well, you probably don't need to do that. So a nice simple way there. You can also push your leg out to the side and rotate that way, which again will give you a nice stretch in your hip and your butt. Okay, so that's a nice way to loosen up the back part of your hips. Show you the other side. So up and across, pull it to your chest, stretch through there, or take your leg out to the side, stretching around your hip. Okay, hopefully you guys are a bit more flexible than me. And then if we're looking further into the last little bit of stretching, what muscles are really tight when we actually sit for long periods? The shortening of your hip flexors. Now, that's a nice simple way to just change position. You can actually still do your work at your chair. Get out of the chair. At your desk, you can still sort of go into kneeling position, stretching across the front of your thigh. So leaning forward, you can relax on your desk so your upper body's relaxed. You can get your hip forward, tuck your bum underneath you, squeeze your butt, which will give you a great stretch across the front of your thigh. Okay, so a really nice one to do there. If you want to take it to the next level, you can reach up and over and hold that position all the time while still doing a little bit of work. Just nice to change position. Other one here now, leaning forward, stretch, doing some typing, doing some work still, feeling that across the front of your thigh, up and across. Nice stretch from my back there, stretch from my hips, and then back to it, back to your chair, and you feel a lot better with that already. There's a number of things you can do at your desk. Now, obviously we've got to keep working, so you can do 30 seconds, a minute's worth. Moving is the key. One of the other, things we want to sort of help you along the idea of with posture is knowing that posture is such a variable thing. The education on posture, in fact, is more likely linked with not necessarily holding one strong position. It's actually about movement variability. So the more you move, the less likely you are to get sore or injured. Our body likes to move. So the main aims of posture are sitting upright all day is in fact not good evidence to suggest that's the way to go. In fact, there's some studies on desk workers where they actually sit too upright and actually have more problems with their neck. Okay, because we talk about that being like this holding tension too much. The body is designed to move and work, but it's not designed to hold one position all day. Okay, so the key with good posture is finding your next posture. Movement is medicine. Move your body. Be a bit more floppy. Use the backrest at times. Don't be afraid to go from this position to this position to this position. It's okay, but keep your body moving. All right. And if you do have a specific problem with sitting and you do have some specific referral pains into your legs, that's when we need some help. Listen to your body, get some help when you need it. But let's try these simple things in regard to moving at your desk, understand the actual bit of the research behind posture, and touch base with any questions you might have. Okay, have a good day.